that their life is going to change in a world that rotates around money and sex. That's the bridge. And that's why a guy said to me, if you don't start with that, if you don't start building from there, and then you can take it wherever you want. He says, I got people that, because he's got more money to put in pay-per-click, his machine is running. He's got those guys back there doing new landing pages. Now it's 67 steps to members. He's in the Learjet talking with pajamas on. He knows how to push those buttons. So I'm seeing Tai Lopez. Now, is he going to be able to teach me what I need to know? No. Tai Lopez is one of the people you figure out after you subscribe to the course. He's one of those people who have achieved his success off of telling you that he's going to help you achieve success. And that's the oldest trick in the game. And the reason why he's there right now, instead of the other guy that's trying to do it, is because he's got more money to put in pay-per-click. His machine is running. He's got those guys back there doing new landing pages. Now it's 67 steps to members. He's in the Learjet talking with pajamas on. He knows how to push those buttons that keep people realizing after they purchased the course that they just bought something again that didn't help them. So I know personally, I'm going to give something to someone that's really going to help them because I know the steps because I went through them. However, I cannot for one moment think that that makes any difference to a person who is not privy to that kind of information at all. A person who's only privy to the big three. A person who's only looking for an authentication that their life is going to change in a world that rotates around money and sex. That's the bridge. And that's why a guy said to me, if you don't start with that, if you don't start building from there, and then you can take it wherever you want. He says, I got people that they sell all types of different things that are not even related to the big three, but they never start the process of that funnel to get that person to convert for that sale without going through those channels, because you can always take a person from there anywhere else. And sure enough, everything connects to money, everything connects to health, and everything connects to relationship in some way or another. But if you just start going with that niche first, advanced spirituality, higher levels of consciousness, that is only going to appeal to a certain group of people. It's like politicians. They can't get anywhere telling people exactly how they are. They have to lie and explain this fake, fictitious dream that everyone wants in order to get elected, right? And we see this all the time, and it works. Millions and millions of people electing these idiots to be the controllers over them because they can tell a few lies, right? But what if you're telling the truth? But you need to disguise the truth in the clothing that people recognize so they can at least see you. You see what I mean? That's all I'm saying. It's like we have no visibility. People have no visibility. And without visibility, you don't see the fruition. You don't see your fulfillment. So it's fine if you're not into money. That's great, right? I guess. But you're definitely not going to see any fulfillment because most of the mechanics to how the matrix works revolves around you needing to be able to compensate a person for the energy they're spending on even dealing with you, listening to what you're saying, or as far as trying to assist you with building it and creating it, right? And then if you try to create it yourself, which is my whole thing, the one-man army, you would just find yourself 6 years later, maybe 1 million views later, when someone got that in 1 hour, unpackaging toys from aluminum foil. You see what I mean? It's like, how does it all make sense? And this takes it to a level where it starts to make sense for a person. Remember, our goal is to create more advanced human beings. And the first process of that is to show the errors in thought. And the biggest one is what we begin to introduce in the peak. If you don't separate your spiritual life and the spiritual world from the fake matrix, you cannot achieve success. But this doesn't mean that you need to degrade yourself, to demoralize yourself. We're not saying that. But we're saying that if you don't realize simple things like if you don't flash a little bit of wealth to show that it's working, then you don't get that initial, hey man, looks like they doing something over there. And the reason why I know that is because I can still rewind my mind before it ever became as advanced as it is now. I can rewind it back to the times where I was exactly that way. And if I didn't see it on you, I didn't take time to figure out if you were about that or not. Because I didn't have time like that. Either I saw it from the moment you pulled up, and I'm going to do a simple analysis, and everyone's good at this now. Like it used to just take behavioral scientists to do it, people watchers, to be able to determine what you're really about by watching you and how you're shifting your eyes and how you're shifting your balance and posture, right? But now, because society has become so pigeonholed, there are codes that when you punch them, Prada shoes, real Fendi, and $150,000 maybe a Varon, that when you punch those codes, it's all laying down. Accolades that the society is giving you. Oh, he's Heisman Trophy winner. He's, Grammy Award, some kind of accolade, So all of those things are really what people are looking for because it's the only thing they have to determine. They don't have spiritual sight where they can see your oversoul. These are the only integers they have to determine whether they're going to be wasting their time, which is their money, which is their energy, on what you're talking about, or are they going to move on to the next guy, or the next lady, or to the next concept. So it's inexplicably linked. We need them, they need us. If we haven't defined who them is, then we haven't actually began. And I feel like that you become like this special agent, if you may. Because you're capable of doing something that most people can't do, and that's walk in the two different worlds and still hold your own, to still maintain yourself, to know what you need to do in order to get certain results, and to not feel all conflicted when it's time to make the proper decisions to get to where you need to go. But at the same time, you're not actually compromising anybody. See, people feel like they're compromising others with their thoughts, and you compromise people with your actions. Not with your thoughts. You see, so what I'm saying here is that people are not even getting beyond their thoughts because their thoughts are conflicting so much, they don't, at the end of the day, never even take action. And when they do, it's so curated. That's what I was saying, it's a curated nation. It's so curated. What they've done is now, okay, so this moralistically person of integrity, even if they live in a nice house, are going to go shoot that in the closet, maybe, and tone it down a bit, and maybe look regular. And so they're doing the same thing. They don't realize they're doing the same thing, but they're not even going to get the results that they were looking for. They're going to get the results from the same group of people who already know that's how they are. Who already know that it doesn't mean anything really to them, because you can't, for me personally, you can't teach 6 years of what I know and not have already figured out the whole damn game. So for even a person that knows me to look at my stuff and to imagine that somehow I forgot about every single thing I've been screaming for the last 6 years, almost 13 hours a day, they need to go and check their own screws. But if they listen closely, what they'll hear me saying is that, yeah, that's always there. You'll always have that. Nothing can ever touch that. But are you getting to the people and causing the healing? Really? At 1,500 views? Really? Or is there some adjustments that you need to make because you didn't consider the first process? And that's all I'm saying. And the issue here is that we as a people need to figure this out very fast. Because right now, we have too many people that actually know this formula. They only want to spend this money in Vegas at some strip clubs, basically, and live this egotistical high life until they hit rock bottom at some point consciously, maybe not financially, but consciously, and then end up in India somewhere giving the rest of all what they made to some guru who's doing the same thing, but just has a whole other outfit on to do it with, which is expunge their capital and expunge the same thing that happened to them happening over again under another guise, right? So this is just the whole thing feeding on itself and nothing ever getting anywhere. This is something different. And that's the main thing about this. Like when I was listening to that recording today, the ladies are going into the whole, you just need to believe in yourself and you need to set your dreams and your desires a little bit higher than what. And it's like, oh my goodness, I'm so tired of hearing that same basic conversation. Don't we know that already? But what pieces are we missing? And I believe personally, we're missing that there's some pieces in the wrong place. There's some things that you think are bad that are not bad or good, but necessary. And when you start putting these pieces in place, which is creating this harmony between money, success, fulfillment, health, dating, relationships, and you get that thing running right, now we're talking. Now you're going to see your reward. But until then, having more of one thing is just going to cause an imbalance somewhere. It's going to cause an imbalance. You're going to have this great relationship, and it's going